G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on Cliffside to witness two of the best players in the world take on each other head to head before EGC TV's new tournament that is going to be coming out very shortly, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Anyway, let's get to it and introduce our players for today. Spawning in the south side of the map in the color pink, playing as the Mongols, we've got our Chinese friend. I'm not going to butcher the pronunciation of that one, but it's not pretty. Anyway, and on the north side of the map in the color green, playing as the Byzantines, it's Louis MT. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cliffside. It is a pleasure to have your company. If you're enjoying this content, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps out the video, and of course, if we don't remind you, you're just never gonna do it, so thanks. Anyway, let's get to it and talk a little bit about this matchup. We've got some fun today. Of course, any game where there is a Byzantine player, I'm excited because the Byzantines, they're a civilization that is constantly evolving, a civilization that is incredibly difficult. And I want to just talk a little bit about that because there is, I'm not going to say an elephant in the room, but there's something that you need to understand, right? I was looking at the top post on Reddit today, and it said, it was a good meme. I was literally just looking at it, and it said, my teammates, when they ask me to change, or me, when my teammates ask me to change my civilization in ranked team games. And it's like, there's a picture of a guy, and he's like, are you asking me not to be a man? And that's exactly it, right? Like, at the end of the day, don't worry about win rates. You got to play to what you like. That's the most important thing. But at the same time, we also want to win, and that's fun. But let's just talk a little bit about the Byzantines, because there was also a comment on one of the videos that I recently posted that said Byzantines are nowhere near close to S tier. They still have, I think that it was something like 47% win rate at gold, 44% at diamond, and at Conqueror, they're at 41% win rate. And that might be the case, but you've got to remember that's only Conqueror. And it might seem like I'm talking from a high horse or an ivory tower or something like that, but there's a huge difference between Conqueror and Conqueror 3. An absolutely massive difference. There's a huge difference between, so myself, I'm a Conqueror 3 player, and there's a massive difference between, say, me and you know, a guy that's 1,800 points or 1,900 points. The skill differences are massive. And the reality is that when it comes to the Byzantines, they are very, very good at the high level. So if you take a look on the website AOE4 World, if you have a look and sort it by Byzantines and the Conqueror win rate, you will see that indeed it is like 41%. Change it to the Conqueror 4 win rate, which basically means Conqueror 3 and above. And you will see that the win rate for Byzantines is much closer to 50%. I think it's just under 50%. So there you guys go. It is slowly getting up there, and especially in the hands of a guy like Louis MT, it's going to be incredibly strong. And part of the reason why he's looking to utilize it in the ranked ladder is because he wants to get up there on the ranked ladder. He's currently rank 4. Which is pretty good. His opponent currently sitting outside the top 50, just outside the top 50, so will undoubtedly put on a good show today, but the favorite is definitely coming into this going to be Louis MT. Plenty of sheep, 15 to be exact. And one thing to note is, where's that tower? Oh, there's that tower. There it is. Oh, it's been all this time and he hasn't even spotted it, but there we go. So that's going to deny the berries completely from Louis MT, and that's a pretty big part of the early game for Louis, because it's going to mean food, it's going to mean olive oil, and most importantly, it's also going to mean gold. So he's going to have a little bit of trouble here, and keep in mind his second gold has spawned out over on that north side. So if he wants to go looking for that secondary gold, he's going to have to come down here towards this southern position. Compare that, say, to his opponent, who has got a gold all the way over here, so a little bit more favored for him. But once again, the offender is going to have the offender. The offense is going to have the advantage coming into this. I'm curious to see exactly how Louis looks to play this. A jump comes through. It's going to be no real surprise here. A little bit under the 4 or over the 4-minute mark. Archery range is going to be thrown down, so nothing too crazy just yet. But remember that he is going to be limited by the amount of berries that he can take, and subsequently the amount of olive oil he'll be able to get, which obviously means a reduced amount of mercenaries early on. But have a look at this. I love this from Louis. I think this is so smart. At no point in this game did Louis indicate earlier than this or prior to this that he was thinking about taking a second TC. He could have done this in the transition period. Didn't. He didn't. It's only now that he realizes, well, you know what? I've lost my food. I've lost my gold. I guess I'm just going to have to go for a second TC, and we'll just make the best of a bad situation. And I like that from Louis. I think that's a really smart move. Let's check in on the other side, because his opponent is throwing down the silver tree. No real surprise to see that coming down, of course, considered by many to be the best landmark for the Mongols at the moment. Allows you to get a pretty decent economy going and should be able to outscale a 2 town center play from the Byzantines, you'd think. But I guess the Byzantines have got a couple of things going for them. Most importantly, they've got that lovely mid-game timing that you need to be very, very careful of. The Byzantines, of course, once they get all their olive groves down and they start pumping out those mercenaries, they can be really, really fearsome. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But let's check in and see exactly how Louis is doing. Right on board with him as he begins scouting out the map. Well, not really begins, but he finishes scouting out the map. Almost finish here. Spotting out the back of the opponent's base. Just looking for any little straggler sheep that he can potentially grab. And now the question is, where does he place this second town center? Because gold is going to be an issue. But I don't think there's any chance you're going to see him placing town centers in the middle of the map. If anything, I feel like maybe going to the back here, you can look to try and slot it between the stone and the berries. Alternatively, you could look to go up on this top side right next to the deer. The alternative, I guess other than that, probably not a whole lot. I think that's pretty much it. Because ideally you want that town center on the gold or near the berries. Won't be possible here today. So he is going to opt for the deer. Definitely makes the right call here, that is for sure. Silver Tree on the line now for our Mongol players, a little bit after the 6-minute mark. So it's taken him about 2 minutes more than Louis to get to the feudal age. But of course, he's got quite an advantage. 5 spears inside the outpost, locking down the landmark. The Grand Winery is not online at this stage. And it kind of ruins the plan for Louis. If Louis is thinking about going for a fast castle, well, guess what? You can't do that because your gold's locked out. You can't sell your olive oil if you're trying to go for your berries. The fast castle is just really not viable here when you've got that Mongol pressure. But he does start to build up archer numbers. He's up to 2 archers. The town center is coming up slowly. Only 6 workers on it. But we do see that second archer is coming out just to look to defend. And remember that even if the Mongol player wanted to try and bring some spears over here to try and annoy Louis, what's going to happen is it's going to mean that he's open all of a sudden on this outpost and isn't able to actually do anything about it. And there's a good chance that you might get villagers that get pulled to try and do a bunker bust. But have a look at this. Outpost now going to be coming up for Louis on the gold. He says, you know what, Drongo? I don't really care that he's got an outpost really, really close by, because I reckon that I've got enough range on my outpost to cover me, and I don't think he's got enough range on his to deny me. But outpost now coming up on the south side. Looks like it probably won't get up if the Keshiks decide to charge, and they will. Oh, it's going to be close. Unfortunately, villager goes down with 10 health left on it. You hate to see it. You really do. Had it been a second earlier, the outpost would have gotten up. The villager would have survived because he would have jumped inside. You hate to see it. Second town center now up for Louis. Being on the deer makes it really easy for him to continue this production. He's going to have plenty of food in the bank, constantly looking to funnel out more and more villagers. Keep in mind, behind this, his opponent is continuing to boom. Well, I say continuing to boom. He doesn't have any traders on the map just yet, but he's looking to get big trade in. This is really big trade. Some of the biggest in the game, in fact, that you will see, because he's going essentially diagonal. So a really efficient trade route here. Quite a safe trade route as well. Doesn't have to fuss too much. So he's in a really good spot, really solid position here, coming out for the Mongol player early on. Lamentinai now going to be hitting the field for Louis. It's going to be the second military production building. Expect him to look to try and break down this outpost soon. Remember that the Lamentinai does have that bonus damage or bonus damage reduction against ranged damage. And one of the things we've seen time and time again is going to be those Byzantine Lamentinai utilizing that extra ranged damage reduction to try and take out those outposts without losing too many units. I think, if I remember correctly, it was a ludicrous amount of shots. I counted it up. It was something like 8 or 9 volleys from the outpost to kill a Lamentinai, and that's fully stacked, if I remember correctly. So it could be on the cards here. Keshik now going to come out, going to eat a couple of shots in the face from the Lamentinai, down to about half health. Don't worry, he can always fall back and look to heal up off something, whether that be deer, whether that be a wall. It's always nice to be able to fall back. And look at this, a second barracks now going to be coming out. Always dangerous to be going heavy on the barracks, but there's a good reason why he's looking to put pressure on, and that is because his opponent is out on the map and he knows it. He knows it 100%. That's why he's out here. That top side still at this stage, slight pressure, not a huge amount. Louis just done the right thing, vacates the area, spots out the trade route, doesn't see anything. Lamentinai forced away. Plenty of Keshiks. He might have to turn around, otherwise, yeah, he's going to take a whole bunch of damage to the back and have to throw away those Lamentinai. Probably just best to get on out of there, Louis. Unfortunately, those Keshiks are quite quick. Now, all of a sudden, more units joining the field. Have a look at this. Lamentinai managed to get a good couple taps in. Force him back for the moment. Archer numbers starting to build for Louis. Exactly what he needs in this situation. Keep in mind that there's a number of factors in play for the Mongol economy, though. Not only does he have that large, booming trade network, but he's also picked up double broadaxe as well as wheelbarrow on the side of Louis. Yet to pick up anything. Though we do now start to see it's going to be double broadaxe coming in, so maybe thinking about staying in the feudal age for a little bit longer, looking to get a couple more bows out. Definitely a smart call here up against this early pressure. Up to the 3rd tier now of system. Beautiful network that he's beginning to create. Loving the look of it. Keep it up, Louis. Loving your style, loving your stuff. And outpost up towards this top side. Still quite strong. No emplacement just yet. And in the middle of the map, hold your horses. There we go. Lament and I get a nice little skewer on a couple of Keshiks. One of them will go down. Second one also goes down. No ranged armor through just yet. Expect to see it coming through pretty shortly for both of these guys. Ranged armor, ranged attack. Nothing just yet for either of them. And Louis got to be careful. He's only got a handful of Lament and I, and quite a bit of cavalry is out on the map. Let's check in with his opponent and see how many traders are out. He's up to 5 traders now. It is a decent amount of gold that's coming in. Just keep that in mind. These are very effective traders. Villagers now moving towards the top side. And remember, as more traders start to come online, the more gold income you've got, and subsequently the more Keshiks you've got, it starts to feel really good as the Mongols. Towards that top side, Louis looks, comes in, has a bit of a squeak, has a bit of a squiz, I think is probably the right term for it. Now continues to make his way down. Gonna get a couple units picked off here. The Keshiks are definitely excited to spot out all of these archers, and unfortunately they will go the way of the dodo. He's got to be careful. There is not a lot of Lament and I in this. And I think this is a bad fight for Louis. Looks like the Mongol player should have the numbers. I don't know why he's not committing, though. He really needs to commit in this fight. I don't understand why he's not doing it. He's just got to go balls to the walls right now. The numbers are still pretty decent for him. He's cleaning up reinforcements as well. A little bit cognizant of being attacked from behind. But speaking of attack from behind, look at this. Keshik's now coming in around that corner. Should be able to clean up all of these archers without too much hassle. He's got to be careful, though, of the Lament and I as they do continue to come in. And I feel like it was really a wasted opportunity coming in from our Mongol player there. Had a great opportunity to take that fight by storm. Did not find it, though. That is painful. Keshik will go down. More archers on the front side. No ranged armor, no ranged attack just through yet. I take it back. Ranged attack just came through on the other side for his opponent. No upgrades coming in just yet. And now it's archer v archer. The archer balls begin to build. And I think if anything, that advantage would have to go to the Mongols. It's really, really important. When you're playing against the Mongols, you need to be aware of their timings. And one of the big timings that the Mongols love to do is go open with this Keshik archer and then hit Castle Age, look for veterancy, +2 ranged attack, and the Kurultai. It's a massive bonus to all of these archers because they're all small little individuals, but their bonuses stack up quite a lot. And have a look at this. Lament 9 numbers are building. He's having a difficult time dealing with them. Actually, playing a pretty effective style right here, Louis. Almost like I feel like I'm watching Don Artie play the English. You know how Don Artie plays the English? He's got the spears, he's got the longbows. The longbows pick off the enemy archers, and your spears keep you safe from the knights. It's that exact same idea. The only difference is, here, his Lament and I have got a lot of extra EHP, which means effective HP. And basically, that's the hit points that you've got effectively against the unit that is countering you. In this situation, of course, that is going to be the archer. So it just means that it takes a lot more archer shots than normal to actually take down the Lament and I. All right, well, the numbers continue to build here for the Mongol player. It feels like we're already up to round, what is it, round 4, round 5? The Keshik numbers are quite high as well. Archers still not enough to one-shot out at this stage. +1 range attack, not yet through. Have a look at this. Ranged armor and attacks now come through for Louis. Could be the difference in this fight, and I suspect it definitely might be. Keshik's come through, big charges over on that east side. It looks like he's just fighting up against the Lament and I. Instead of going after the archers, I feel like I can't help but feel that might be a bit of a mistake, but if he's just looking to overrun them, then perhaps that is the way, and indeed, that seems what he's looked to do. Numbers advantage now sitting with the Mongol player. Should be able to clean this up without too much of a hassle. Louis falling back towards the town center. More reinforcements rallying out. Another Lament and I will get focused down. Didn't have its shield wall up. Will get taken out in just 2 volleys with only a handful of archers. And now looking to dive underneath the town center. 7 villagers jump inside, looking to help obliterate this Keshik mass. And keep in mind, no ranged armor is going to mean he can't really dive that town center effectively. He's taking quite a bit of damage there. Getting that ranged armor would reduce that damage down by 33% at this stage of the game. So it's quite a big deal to be missing it, especially considering we're almost 15 minutes through now. Checking in over on that east side of the map. 10 active traders at this market right now. It's not bad. I'd like to see it a little bit better, though, because if we consider these take 21 seconds, so 21 seconds, you're talking 3 a minute. So he's basically been making traders for the last 3 minutes. That's the equivalent of what we've got right now. And you and I both know he has had this landmark for 9 minutes now. So we should be much higher than this. And you can see that Louis is essentially out-booming him at this stage of the game. And that shouldn't be the case for the Mongols. The Mongols, technically in this situation, should be out-booming their opponent. But Louis, still looking pretty strong at this stage in the feudal age. Outpost is still up. I love that he's just completely ignored this outpost. He's got 34 military population, still ignoring it. He's probably just got attack sirens in the back of his headset. Doesn't care. Khan's out. Attack speed comes through. Looking to try and find a way through. There's a little bit of a wall up here, but unfortunately the wall isn't going to be completed, which means that all of the military now gets exposed to the backside. It sounds like the Khairusafont will be looking to siege down that outpost towards the top side, and indeed that is going to be the case. It's got to be careful not to lose it to the spears afterwards, though. And we spoke about it before. The Kurultai is now looking to come online for our friend, our Mongol friend. It's doing well so far this game. The pressure's been pretty decent. The one thing I'm concerned about is just the scaling of the economy. As I've mentioned, the economy, it's really important that we continue training traders all the time. You can see he does have quite a bit of downtime. Even though he's got resources in the bank to get these traders out, he's not training them. And that hurts a lot because it means that you're missing out on quite a bit of money. You're leaving it on the table. And ain't nobody got time for that. Age up is through, though. 22 archers. Expect to see veterancy straight away. Expect to see +2 ranged attack after he's got +1 ranged attack. Jeez Louise. Can't believe I got to say that 15, 16 minutes into the game. You hate to see it. You really do. Kurultai going to start pushing up. There's a great little spot for it right here. On these maps, these little nooks and crannies are wonderful for sticking in landmarks like that. You want to throw a keep down? You can throw a keep down in a position like this. Sure, it doesn't have the sight, but good luck trying to siege that with any kind of unit. Kurultai will come down. Definitely not the primary spot, but over towards that west side. It looks like Louis realizes his opponent has been trading this time and will look to shut it down. The trade route, unfortunately, will be shutting down for now, but he does have a secondary route. Let's see if he realizes it. Trying to force the fight before the veterancy comes through. Louis ideally wants to go Castle Age and then fight. Does not want to take this fight right now. So he did well to make sure that his opponent was out of position and then backs away before that fight can actually happen. Keshiks will find the charge. Looking to hit that villager. There's going to be 2 of them. Cancels the outpost. No wall's going to be coming up here either, even though he's got plans for them. Slowly and steadily, the Kurultai will be brought to the front as well. Plenty of production on the backside. Uvu has gone down. We'll be looking to move it on. Where are we going? Down here. Towards that eastern edge of the map. And now in the corner. Still 11 traders. Louis done a great job to keep the trade down. At this point in the game, our Mongol player should be closing in on 100 economic units. And that is... it's one of those things that just... It hurts a little bit to watch, to see. Because we both know our Mongol player. He should be fighting hard right now. He needs to go ham. He needs to find a way back into this game. I mean, he's still technically in it. All he needs to find is one really good raid. And all of a sudden, you know, things are going well for him. Imagine, you know, all the Keshiks managing to break through over here. And you'd have yourself a game. Until then, though, we wait. With bated breath. Mercenary House under attack. Let's have a look and see whether he switches it over to Presidium. Not going to be doing it at the moment, but could be getting a little bit more longevity out of the Mercenary House. Buy himself a little bit more time. Presidium still not found just yet. I don't think many people utilize this or realize how powerful it is. 25% is a huge amount. Now running in underneath the cistern. He's got to be careful. The age up comes through. Louis immediately clicks those veterancy buttons. Khairusafont will go down. And now looking to chase the army. You can see just how intent the Mongol player is on causing the fight. We're entering into the cinematic mode. 59 versus 57 military population. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. The Keshiks have decided the longbows are going to be what get taken out here first. We were talking before about the longbows. Let's see if they stack up. Veterancy came through. Have a look at that. Wonderful timing from Louis MT. Khan goes down before the arrow comes off. Lamet Knight to the 4. Looking to try and defend in this position. And the beautiful timing from the Kurultai. It could be a little bit too late, though. He could have dealt with the healing. Could have had a little bit more attack. And look at him getting eaten alive now by the upgraded units. The reason why those upgrades came through so damn quickly is because of the cistern. It is because of the Dialecticus bonus. And that meant that our Mongol player only had a window of about 20 seconds before those upgrades came through. And the moment they came through, it was immediately Louis MT's fight, just simply because of the reinforcements. And now, it might not look like he's winning the fight, but remember, the Varangian Guard are here. And the Varangian Guard are very, very close when it comes to those reinforcements. They are walking very, very close. Though it looks like he's only got resources for Lamentinite at the moment. But he does slowly and steadily whittle down, dwindle. I think we'll go with whittle down the forces. Keep in mind that the Kurultai is in play here, so hold your horses, Drongo. It might not be looking that good for Louis just yet. Archer numbers still looking pretty good. Men-at-Arms now going to be coming through as well. Hold on, I got to get myself a little bit of a drink or a frog in my throat. All right, there we go. I'm good. That wasn't a drink. That was just a quick throat clear. Kurultai comes down. He's going to have to back out, realizing, you know what? I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I'm just going to have to back on out of here, and that's probably the best thing he could have done. Honestly, the best thing he could have done is as soon as he saw the veterancy upgrade, just backed out. Because that's the fight that you're looking for. You're happy to take a fight in a suboptimal position if it means that you're going to take a favorable exchange because of the unit bonuses. He didn't have the unit bonuses anymore. He lost those as soon as his opponent got to Castle Age and immediately looked to get those upgrades, and really well utilized here by Louis MT. And honestly, that's something that wins games, right? Like, had he not done that, he would have lost the game. Why? Because he would have had to have taken a fight with suboptimal units, and you saw how close that fight was in the first place, where Louis just held on with those upgrades. Imagine if he had to wait another 40 seconds for those upgrades. Then he would have had to wait another 40 seconds for those reinforcements as well. Mangonel emplacement now coming through as well for Louis. He's got 3 Mango emplacements, looking to defend. Keep in mind, he's got plenty. Oh, there they are on the backside, firing off down on the army. Oh, Springald. Cops a whole bunch of damage. I don't think he's paying attention. The Kurultai is healing him up. But have a look at this. He realizes, hold on, I've got to deal with this Mangonel emplacement right now. Battering ram is coming online for him. Big Mango shots. Not going to be looking to get the fortification on this outpost. Outpost will go down. Down towards that south side. Outposts everywhere, but not the Springald emplacement. I don't know if I like this, I'll be honest. Springald emplacement on these outposts would make a lot of sense because they can just simply one-shot the traders. Putting the outposts over here, though, it's going to make it very hard for you to take them, but it's also going to make it pretty hard for you to actually kill the traders that are coming through, unless you've got garrisoned units for that single target effectiveness. All right, well, slowly and steadily, our Mongol player continues to be under threat. He's up to 22 traders, though, which is definitely a good sign. He is beginning to build that trading economy back up, but he is struggling as the walls now start to come up for Louis. Kurultai getting moved into position. The push is still quite strong here on this front. Louis with a 20 economic lead at this stage of the game. Plenty of olive groves now coming down around the famous Byzantine landmark, the Grand Winery. And now on that south side, you can see he's got the trader that is trying to block these walls from coming up, but Louis MT, like a computer, says no. Towards that north side, gold is taken. He's got 1 relic. That's the first one on the way through now. Gotta be careful with this Kurultai. It is going down. Now, one of the things I would love to see from our Mongol player that we haven't seen is 5 villagers brought up to help throw down some outposts. Because outposts are exactly what you need in this situation, because you're going to be capped out on population space very, very soon, and you need those outposts to help defend with your army when that inevitable push comes through. Because what we're looking for is a push with siege. We want to see trebuchets, we want to see mangoes, we want to see springalds, we want to see lots of crossbows, the Kurultai, the outpost with springled emplacements, if I didn't mention that already, and ideally some spears as well is always nice. Spears always go well. But now pushing up, triple mango threat onto the villagers. Olive Grove goes down as well. Now there's a hole in the aqueduct as well. You've got yourself a little bit of trouble in paradise. Battering rams working down the town center. Look at the Mangonel emplacement together with the Springles on the back, able to take out the siege here on the front. The Khan goes down. We've got multiple angles of attack. Louis MT with how many hands has this guy got? Look at this. Sieging up every single position, it seems, with outposts. Oh, well, look at the line. Look at the line of longbows. He's looming. He wants it. Let's see if he can find it. Varangian guards gonna look to charge in. Hitting the Springled head on. He's still got 2 alive. Mangonel emplacement. Mangonel emplacement. There's a Mangonel emplacement in here, right? I'm 99% sure there's a Mango emplacement in here. I swear I saw it. Is it just not firing? No, he doesn't have it. Where did it go? Am I dreaming? Is Hollywood dreaming right now? It could be the case. Shout out to Post. Dude, you can hear that water just going. Listen to that water. It is going non-stop. Mango in placement. Looks to try and help. Now, looking to hold. Plenty of ranged units in here. Big clump of them. Boom. Down onto the men-at-arms. He's defended once again. Louis MT under pressure. But looking to pull off a Byzantine masterpiece of defense right now. Beautiful hold through the early game. That Castle Age timing was magnificent. And now, the main town center will go down, unfortunately. But the push has not stalled just yet. The push has only gone back to regroup. That's it. More men-at-arms coming through. As I said, I think the main thing you want to be looking for here are crossbows. Men-at-arms definitely... Oh, we've lost ourselves a landmark. It's 1 for 1. The Kurultai going down is a huge oversight here from the Mongol player. And really, the lack of villagers on the front is what I'm noticing here. He needed to bring up villagers a lot sooner. Just those villagers to throw down outposts, those villagers to get repairs in quickly if you need them. And now the mangoes, they got to be careful. He's got to be careful. He's moving right up to point blank range. 3 mangoes. He wants it. Is he going to give it to him? Oh, he gives it to him all right. Point blank range. Springle's firing off on the back. Able to get some return shots off. He's still got 1 mango, but they all just get taken out. That is the newly buffed up Mangonel. Or rather, newly buffed up Springled. What was that? Was that the Khan Rising or was that Imperial Age? There's no way that was an Imperial Age. Surely that was not an Imperial Age. It sounded like it though. It's always hard to tell when the sounds are identical. Why are the sounds the same? Why is the Khan the same sound as the Age Up? I just don't understand that. And it is the Khan. For some reason. Alright, Mango in placement. It's doing work here. Springled's up against the Mango emplacements. You can see when it comes to outposts, they're not the best at dealing with each other. Mango in placement. Mango in placement. That's it. That is it. Louis MT just takes it out. A beautiful defensive play right there. I was waiting for the Mangonel shot into the center of mass. He shut down the trade on the outside. He held perfectly. An absolute masterpiece from Louis MT on the Byzantines. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this game. And of course, we'll catch you guys in the next one.